G'day, welcome to Todd's Kitchen. Today's recipe suggestion comes from the following YouTube user, who also happens to be a very good friend of mine, so please click on the name there, check out his channel, and if you like what you see, please subscribe. But in America, they're called Cheetos. Here in Australia, they're called Twisties. But whatever you call them anywhere else, they're pretty much just cheese puffs. So join me today as I make my version of a caramel coated cheese puffs. Okay, so I've got a pot on the stove on a medium heat. So to that we're going to add in 1 cup of butter. And we're just going to wait till this is completely melted down. Okay, now that the butter is melted, we're going to add in our brown sugar. I'm just going to mix that in. Next we're going to add in half a cup of corn syrup, also referred to as glucose syrup. And half a tablespoon of salt. And we're just going to mix that in. So we're just going to keep on mixing this until the sugar is completely dissolved. Okay, so once the mixture's been brought to a boil, stop stirring, and we're just going to let this boil away for exactly 2 minutes. Okay, for the next step we're going to use some cheese chips. Now in America I believe they're called Cheetos. In Australia they're called, these are the only ones I could find, which are Twisties. And they just happen to be a nice zigzag shape. So using a foil container, I'm going to put them right in. Now the reason I'm using a foil container is it just makes it so much easier, because this is more like a toffee that's going to go inside of these chips, so it just makes it so much easier later on when it comes to cleanup. So you can use a normal baking dish if you like, but I highly recommend just use one of these cheap disposable foil containers. Okay, now that it's been boiling for 2 minutes, we're going to take it straight off the heat. Okay, now that it's been taken off the heat, we're going to sprinkle in half a teaspoon of baking powder. Just going to stir that in. Then half a teaspoon of cream of tartar. And you're going to be asking, do I need to add these? The simple answer is yes, you do need to add these. So if you're not sure where to buy them, just find a local stockist, just Google a local stockist. And finally, and very importantly, while stirring, don't stop stirring, add in half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And make sure you continue stirring. Now if you're not stirring while adding in the extract can touch the bottom, and which will cause it to suddenly boil, which will also cause a sugar explosion, which you obviously don't want. So make sure you stir it as you're putting in the extract. Okay, so with our cheese chips, what we're going to do now is just pour this mixture just over the top. And we're just going to gently mix it around. Just be very gentle so you don't break the chips. Okay, so once coated, place into a preheated oven at 110 degrees Celsius or 250 degrees Fahrenheit for 1 hour. And what we're going to do is every 15 minutes for that whole hour, we're just going to pull this out and we're just going to use a spatula and just give them a turn, just so we can make sure they're all continuously coated. Okay, so it's been 15 minutes, so I'm just going to start mixing these through again. The best way to do it is just lift them up and turn them. Okay, so just going to put this back in the oven, and again we're just going to continue doing this every 15 minutes. Okay, so I've just taken it out of the oven for the final time. Now the reason I'm using a soft rubber spatula is because it's less chance you're going to break the chips. So what we're going to do now is just keep separating them as so, just keep stirring them, just until the caramel has cooled down completely. That way you're not going to have massive clumps of chips. But if you find that you have too many clumps and you can't get them out, just place those ones back into the oven at the same temperature for about 10 minutes and then just do it again. Okay, so all being separated. As you can see, they're all lovely and chippy. They've all cooled down, so they've all stayed separated, but they're also lovely. Look at those. Now I'm going to give one of these a try. Oh yeah. Oh, that tastes good. That has a lovely crunchy outer shell, that lovely caramel taste. And with that cheese taste in the middle, that soft cheese taste, that tastes simply delish. And that was incredibly easy to make. Anyone could do it at home, I guarantee it. It is really that nice. Now, I've never tried other flavours before, but I've only tried cheese, so I think cheese goes the best with this caramel. But feel free to experiment with other chip flavours if you choose. And thank you for watching this episode of Todd's Kitchen. A list of ingredients are down below, as well as links to my Facebook, Twitter and Google Plus pages. Please do me a huge favour by giving this video a thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time for another delicious recipe.